Welcome back to MaxBet Podcast. We're here with Magnus Olsson, CCO of Play'n GO.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And you're here, this is obviously going to air after, but you're here for F1, a very important work event.
It is. It's we've been sponsoring the Haas Formula One team now for a couple of years, and there's many facets to that. And one is the hospitality. So we can give our partners and customers an experience that literally money can't buy. And I just read an article on LinkedIn that the Formula One paddock is becoming the new place to do business. It used to be golf courses, and now it's Formula One. It's apparently held in very high regard in terms of an environment or vehicle for deal making.
Yeah. Oh, that's very smart.
Yeah.
Also, it requires zero skill from the person doing business, which that's beneficial for me because I don't play golf. Do you play golf?
I used to when I was younger,
okay.
But not anymore.
So you're not making golf appointments while you're out here because we've got a lot of that.
I thought of picking it up, but I don't. Yeah, maybe later in life.
Okay.
Right now, there's no time.
Yeah, you've got a lot going on.
Mm.
How do you get into being the CCO of Play'n GO? Like, what's your origin story?
Yeah, so I've been with Play'n GO almost 9 years, and that was my first job in gaming. I really had no connection to it, except a strong connection to Las Vegas, actually.
Okay.
It was a good time in my life to do something completely different.
Yeah.
And I liked the energy. I liked that they were very proud and very driven, industrious, and I haven't looked back since.
That's always exciting to get in kind of at the ground floor of a new business like that. That's really young and hungry. How many markets are you guys in right now?
We are in almost every regulated market. We have a strategic decision to be in every regulated market. Then it's just about timing and cost and resource allocation, stuff like that. I think everybody would benefit from it.
Yeah.
Tax money in, responsible gaming gets a platform, player protection, and all the hazardous gaming thing can be mitigated, controlled, and so there's so many good things if we can make that happen.
Yeah. How has the expansion in the US been? And has anything surprised you?
I thought more states would regulate by now. I know the pandemic did some damage to that roadmap for various reasons, but still, there's only 7 states, and I thought it would go faster. So hopefully it picks up speed soon. I'm also a bit surprised about how independent the states are. So for example, if you look at when we certify our games, we have to do it in each state, and it's very different. Looking from the outside, it feels inefficient because they are more or less asking for the same things.
Yeah.
But they have to do the process one state, so state by state. I think there's some efficiency gains to be made in that process, and I'm surprised that no one has picked up on it because it will save money, save time, increase margins for everybody, increase tax money in for the states, and the result will be the same. Another thing that is interesting to note is that gambling is in the DNA of the American culture in a way that you don't really see in Europe, maybe, or maybe in some countries. But gambling is so ingrained in the culture in a positive way, and I really like that. You can interview a CEO of a publicly traded company in the US, and it will be viewed as a business, and you wouldn't get those kind of sensational seeking questions that you might get in UK or Sweden about the darker side of gambling. It will be more regarded as a proper business, and the CEO or anyone getting questioned would be treated like any other business leader. And I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also adds to the maturity process for iGaming. So I think that's good to see, and I think that's something definitely Europe can learn a lot from, to treat it like a proper business and have the same expectations on it.
Yeah. What do you think the US can learn from how Europe has either, rolled out things? You guys have had iGaming obviously way longer.
Yeah.
What can we stand to learn from that?
Business-wise, not a lot. I think US is a good or excellent place to do business in, and strong companies here. I would say that most people who play slots now in the US, they come from a land-based tradition. Mm-hmm. They've been to Vegas, to Atlantic City, or tribal casinos. So they tend to gravitate towards content that is similar to what you find in land-based.
Yeah.
We saw that in Europe as well, and it's still valid. And some people will continue to play those games. It's great games, it's great content, but it was made for land-based and then kind of transported or ported into online. Mm-hmm. What happened in Europe was that you grow a new set of players, the players that have their first gaming experience online.
Yeah.
And they have no history. They don't have the history of going to a land-based casino. And they like fundamentally different content. And this is also why it's so debated if online is cannibalizing on land-based. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But what's really happening is that you find a new audience. Mm-hmm. And you can actually drive traffic to land-based casinos with this audience. And that's happening now. This is like the third wave in gambling or slot playing. First is land-based, second a new audience doing online, and third, online starting to go to casinos. Mm-hmm. And of course, they will start to look for content that looks like what they played online.
Yeah.
And right now, you cannot find that in a land-based casino.
That's very true. It doesn't go the other way.
No, not yet.
Not yet. What's the process right now? Like, obviously, it varies state by state, but as far as what's the length of time, if you start now, how long do you expect that to take? Like 6 months, a year?
I don't know. I think it's also state by state on the process, but you have to get those bills approved, signed off. Mm-hmm. You could copy paste a lot of the jurisdiction or regulation from other jurisdictions. I mean, there's 7 states already. They've done a good job. They have regulations that work. Mm-hmm. You could copy from them. That will speed it up enormously. And what you will get is not only the tax money, because people in all states in the US are gambling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean said it was like $100 billion black market industry across all gaming. But that's insane.
And that's money. Not only do they miss out on the tax money, but they also have to pay for people who gamble away their savings and end up in problems because there's no safety rail on the illegal casinos. Mm-hmm. And the money goes to offshore. You don't know how that money is used and who's the ultimate beneficiary of that money. Could be good people, could be bad people, you don't know. So you get the costs and you lose out of the tax money. Mm-hmm. So it's a double negative not to regulate.
That's true. But do you think that obviously you guys care about the consumer in this situation, and the U.S. should care about their constituents in each state? But I was talking with someone also in gaming at a birthday party, as one does, and they were saying they had a good argument that I thought was interesting, where they were like, you know what? The consumer doesn't care what site they bet on as long as they can place their bet. Yeah. Because you're not going into a business saying, show me your business license before I buy anything here. They're not doing that at all. They're not interested. So if one thing is like sportsbetting.com that's unregulated versus, like Kelshi or something like that, they're probably going to pick the one that says sportsbetting.com because that feels the most legit. So I mean, do you guys also kind of expect that the customer is probably not going to care that much if it's regulated or not?
They probably won't care that much, no.
Okay.
They will care when they have a very big winning and the company doesn't pay out.
That's true.
And there's no
Yeah.
way, and engaging lawyers trying to find, and maybe they just fold the company. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
There's a big win, they just fold the company and start up a new one and move their player database.
That's crazy. I've heard of people getting blocked or
Yep.
whatever. Suddenly they're no longer allowed on the platform. Yeah, they probably would care for that. My other thought is I would worry about like your information getting out.
Yeah.
Because you're putting in a lot of very sensitive information
Yes.
to these
Yeah.
to get paid out and
Credit card data,
Yeah.
everything. But I get it. You find a nice site, you place your bets or play the slots, and most of them are decent people, and even if they're offshore, so you win something, you get it paid out, and it usually works. But if you have an issue, if you should, have some sort of conflict or problem with them, you will fail to resolve that.
Yeah. It becomes a very big issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
And
does.
it's your issue. So basically you're doing this, it's kind of a thankless job in a way. I mean, the states should be thanking you guys because they're about to make a ton of money, but yeah.
I think we must be the only industry in the world who's like raising our hands saying, please regulate us, please tax us.
Yeah.
I think everybody else is fighting for less regulation, lower taxes.
Yes.
And of course, we want a functioning regulation. We want a regulation that makes sense, and we want a tax level that makes sense. Otherwise, again, you feed the black market. In terms of regulation, what I'm very impressed by in the US is the regulators' openness to have conversations with other actors in the industry, with the operators or with us as suppliers or whoever is also. That's very, very good. And the states in the US benefits from this enormously, because then you have an open conversation about, okay, how does the regulation work? What can we improve? They don't always follow our advice, of course, and neither should they.
Yeah. What I'm hearing a lot more of is suppliers getting involved in those conversations more. I think for a while it was just kind of left to the operators to kind of fight that fight, but now suppliers see a lot of benefit, not just the ones that are getting into iGaming, but
I think it's good that the suppliers are also part of the conversation and the process. What I want to kind of discuss sometimes when I look at it is, when you look at content, like the content we create, what I think the regulators should look at, and more do, is mechanics and math that is designed to feed a potential addiction. And that's doable. Yeah.
I think perceived persistence does that in slots all the time.
Yeah. I don't know about perceived persistent states. I haven't thought about that really, but could be onto something there. What I think about is the ability to, for example, bonus buy and schemes like that.
Oh, yeah.
What they do is, first of all, they circumvent MaxBet limitations, if there's MaxBet limitations, or and secondly, they empty your wallet really fast.
Yeah.
And we don't do those type of games, and it's for that reason. But also, I don't get it. How can you be creating content and saying we are purposely creating this so that the players should skip 2/3 of the game? I mean, where's the pride in that? Create a game that's fun to play from round one.
Yeah.
And that's exciting and builds up to a bonus round, and make the whole journey within the game fun and exciting. I think that's a better challenge. Anyways, I think regulators should look at mechanics and math that drives that behavior or the wrong type of behavior.
It's not beneficial for, I mean, obviously that player, if they have $100 to spend, they're not going to be on your app as long.
No.
So isn't that to the detriment of the company? Because don't you want players on there longer?
I think it should
player
be.
retention.
Yeah, I think it should be. And I think that in a land-based casino, one of the KPIs they have is time at machine.
And it's very easy to walk away on your phone versus in person.
Yep.
So I feel like having people on your app longer I feel like that's the goal in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where content play a big role. And I also see when you want to retain your players, you should think about it like any other business. You walk into a corner shop or you're buying a suit. I go to buy a new suit. If I get properly treated, if I get good service and perceived value for money, it looks good, it fits me. Even if it's if it costs a bit more than I expected or whatever, I will come back. Next time I need a suit because they gave me a good. That's like selling 101. That's been true for thousands of years. Everybody
Quality
knows
over
this.
quantity. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows this. However, when you have an online casino, how do you ensure that the players after a session logs out from the casino feeling good, feeling okay, I spent $100. I played some online casino. It took me X hours, and now my balance is zero. How do you make that player feel good? Turning off the laptop or the phone. I think if you give the players an entertaining experience, they had fun doing it. They enjoyed it. It was exciting. If you build in a huge element of entertainment into that, they will feel like you feel after seeing a movie. Okay, I spent $100, but I had 2 hours of entertainment. The value in a slot game should be the entertainment value. Then the winning and losing thing should be the second tier. When I see games that are clearly designed just for winning and losing, the gambling aspect, typically they also have bonus buy or other features so that you can accelerate that. That will not help you with your retention long term.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of land-based casinos are also going that way, like what you said about like the entertainment's number one and the gambling second, but it's not the number one reason. And I think for many, many years, many decades, going to a casino was about gambling first.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing this shift, especially after 2020, where people want entertainment, they want dining, they want, experiences, and they also want to gamble, but that's now secondary very clearly.
If you look at the data, a casino on the Strip here in Vegas, 1985, 1990, I think they had 80% of their revenue was from gambling. Today it's below 50. People come to Vegas for entertainment now, not for gambling. We're going to spend a lot of money on food and drinks and hotel and doing cool stuff, Speed Vegas or whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to gamble for $200.
Yeah. It's no longer the bulk of their budget.
So I think that's key. And I cannot stress enough the importance of promoting content that can live longer. Because you will have people putting a star or bookmark the games and returning to it if it's good.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was last year at G2E. That was your first G2E where you had the big booth with the F1 simulators in it. And I remember I was talking to Andrew Pink, and he was explaining how in Europe, your games are very popular and they're very big. And the characters in them are like noticeably, they're like very famous.
Yeah.
So you had these like little stuffed animal monsters. I can't remember. Yes. Okay. And they were lined on top. And he goes, if we put these out at like European trade show, they would all be gone.
Yes.
Like he's like, we had people come and steal them and run away. And that's so crazy to me that you guys have created such a fan base model around your games that
people tattoo them on. And,
that's so crazy. Yeah. So content feels like you guys have definitely mastered that.
We have our sagas. We have a series like Reactoons with the Garga and the other monsters. It's been around forever. There is a storyline. And we think more and more of producing a game is like producing a movie or a series in a Netflix series, for example, one episode. We think more and more about that the storyline needs to be there, and the characters should develop and evolve. When you have that and people start to identify with it, it's really strong, and they look forward to the next release. Yeah, and go Netflix again. If a series is good, they do a spin-off.
Yeah. I like that you guys are building a fan base around the content you have. So I've only known about your brand for like a year, almost a little over 2 years now. But everyone I've met from Play'n GO is suspiciously wonderful. And I am wondering, are you guys just like sending out your shiniest people? Or is this like an internal culture that you guys have cultivated there? Like what's your secret here to such talent?
The founders are still active in the company, in the management, very much so. CEO, CMO. And culture has always been important for them. They had a very clear view of what type of company they wanted. Both in terms of products, what to do, but also how we treat each other, how we work together. And when we hire, we spend a lot. You can fact check me on this, but ask someone who's been recently employed. One thing I get as feedback all the time is that the hiring process was really nice, really good. And they talked to people, they got a clear picture of what they did. And the onboarding was also very well taken care of.
Okay.
So it is important. And I think when you have a good culture and a culture that works and a culture that puts people together, it attracts a certain type of people.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. We don't have commission schemes, for example. When we choose what to do or not to do in the industry, like should we exhibit at the G2E? Should we be part of this event? Should we? What type of parties should we have and where and when? We don't want to be a follower. We have always based those decisions on who we are and what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
So that also shapes the company. And I'm sure there's people who are equally lovely at many other companies, but maybe we give them a better chance of being themselves.
Yeah. What do you guys do like on a practical scale that helps with that culture? Like, are you do you have a set standard of, you have to meet with your direct reports X amount of time? Is there anything practical that you guys roll out to really like harvest that kind of environment?
There's several things. After the pandemic, we decided to shut down all our offices. So we have 100% remote. This is challenging for everybody. And I think no matter what decisions you took after the pandemic, you will have issues. If you say back to the office, you will have problems with that.
Yes.
Hybrid will be problems. Fully remote, there's problems. And of course, there's also upsides with each model. We choose fully remote. And what we do is that we make sure to have physical meetings in hubs.
Okay.
Where everybody comes in and people from management also participates. But we also have they can rent offices. We have an app that they can look for share spaces, and we encourage them to do that and to have team meetings or whatever whenever they feel that there's a need for it. We communicate a lot digitally, and we interact a lot digitally. I don't think we have any Nobel Prize winning new invention in terms of how we do it, but we try to do it consistent. Mm-hmm. I think it was a concern when we chose to have the office, not have offices anymore, that okay, what will happen with our culture? So we put a lot of people on that to think about it and to monitor it, and we tweak it all the time and fine tune. I think most companies do this somehow, but also connect this with that we have a clear view on what we want to be and who we want to be. Mm-hmm. Makes it a bit easier.
When you're hiring someone, what's something you're looking for immediately that's not on their resume? Like when you're talking with them, something you can probably tell within, 90 seconds, what are you specifically looking for?
So me personally, I'm thinking, can I sit next to this person on an 11-hour flight from Copenhagen to Vegas? And
fair. Yeah.
If that works. I also like, and I'm stealing this from Mark Zuckerberg, without shame. He said once that if in an alternate universe I was working for this person, not the other way around, how would I feel about that?
Oh, that's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I immediately get what he means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
So it's that human side of it that's I've always felt strongly about. Since I drive a sales organization, the fact that we don't have commission, that weeds out some people automatically, which is fine. And we are super clear about this early, that this is how we work, this is how we compensate, and this is the pay structure. And if you don't like that, don't think that you should come in here and change it, because that will be negative for you, because you will just fight something. Instead, embrace it and understand it.
Is that normal in European companies? Okay, so they're the same as the US where it's commission based.
Yes.
So you guys are an oddity.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Very much so.
We're going to do a little lightning round. So this is just like top of mind, first thing that pops in your head. What's the most underrated Play and Go game that you've ever launched?
That's a very individual question. I think everybody has. My answer would be Jolly Roger 2.
Okay.
I love that game, and it's not played a lot.
Okay. What's a spicy take that would spark a debate at a dinner party?
What I've gotten a lot of pushback on is that we downgrade gambling, but that's not so controversial, and it's not so spicy. That we say that entertainment comes first. Mm-hmm. So no, we are gamblers, we want to gamble. That we ask for more regulation.
Yeah.
Many people want less or none.
I've never heard of anybody wanting more. No. So yeah, that is pretty controversial. Yeah. What's one industry buzzword you'd ban forever if you could?
Gray markets.
Are you just tired of hearing about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, what is it?
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was like the no man's land in between people who are like, they could be kind of doing some shady stuff, but maybe they're not. But yeah, I assumed that they were all unregulated as well.
Yeah, they are.
What's a market you think everyone should be watching next year?
US is obvious, especially since we think there's more states coming in. Canada, I think also in Brazil. I was recently in Brazil, and they have a 10-month-old regulation. I think things are going to happen there. India is a prohibited market. There are signs that they are looking to regulate, and that's huge. That's a massive country. And then I think finally, I would like to see a country like New Zealand. They are talking about it. If they regulate, Australia might follow. and you might have other countries in that region following, which would be beneficial.
Do you have any good gaming stories?
Good gaming stories. We went to G2E last year, and there's a few of us who tend to like games that are situated in the same space as the Venetian.
Okay.
So we call that the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, nice.
So I got one game that I like and my colleagues have. So we've been playing in that Bermuda Triangle for many, many years and losing money, of course. But, no big amounts. But it's like $100 there, $100 there, and it adds up over years. Last year, we all won.
Oh, okay.
Yes. One guy was, I think, close to 10 grand. And
that's a good run.
I was up 1,900, I think, and all of us went away from that G2E with a win from the Bermuda Triangle, and that felt good. That was a payback.
I love that it's called the Bermuda Triangle, which things historically get lost in. So yeah, I can't imagine I'd go up to a Bermuda Triangle and be like, I'm going to win a lot of money here. Well, Magnus, this has been such a great talk. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Hillary.
I'm very much looking forward to this week. I'll be seeing you quite a lot.
Yep.
And if you want to learn more about Play'n GO, you can find Magnus on LinkedIn, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.